Hello everybody, Neto Pimenta from Spark to Finish here in our creative journey for our daily dose of the 7 C's, and today is again Clarity Monday. One full cycle is behind us. We got the groundwork and the lay of the land. Now I want to get into specificity, which is very much what clarity is, to go from generalizations into specific what? What is the specificity of your vision? What is the specificity of why you are doing the inflection you go about in life, your craft, your message, your market? Who are the type of people that you want to be engaging and creating and co-creating with? And also, what are your limitations? What are the bad habits? What are the things that we must prune out of our lives so that we may be able to accomplish, to achieve, to grow into this high aspiration or highest of aspirations? And if it's not high enough, let's start there. If your ultimate goal is something you can get done on Friday, that's never what we're talking about here. There's got to be two types at least. I mean, you can have more, but there's got to be two types of project that you must be running in life. One is such a major undertaking, right? It's basically the story of your life, the sculpture of your life, the delineation of you going about on the planet. And I'm sorry if these are all abstract concepts. I'm going to get into specifics very soon. I just want to, again, lay a little bit of ground in the framework here. And the second thing that goes into this overarching project that will take you several minor projects is the project that you have ahead of you, is the project that you want to see tangible. And then we break that one down into specific steps, right? So this project is tangible that you can do in 1 month, in 3 months, in a year, in 18 months time. Be it a business, a movie, a book, a new business model, a revamping, reframing of how you're going about interacting with your audience and your market, your customers, your clients. All of those things are, right, the whole SMART goal thing. The thing that you can time, that you can measure, that you can know whether you're failing at it or getting better at it or getting closer to it. That's the tangible project ahead of us. And then the other one, when I talk about clear and I talk about point Z is not making a movie. Point Z is not the art showing. Point Z is not, oh, I have a running business with cash flow and now all is dandy. Point Z is that thing that, right, point Z is at the heart of innovation, is at the heart of any explorer and anybody who's taking this as a lifelong pursuit. Point Z is something you're never going to get to, perhaps. That's a well-lived life, is to have something so tangible but intangible all at once that there's always something that you can be doing to refine it, to get better, to be more specific, like the aspirations of Martin Luther King and Gandhi, or even the aspirations of any interesting filmmaker that we have out there, the aspirations of Jackson Pollock, Picasso, the aspirations of anybody who's really engaging with their art form and seeing how much farther can they push their boundary, what can they do with it, right? That's a lifelong thing. You will die in the doing of it, and there's nothing more Taoistic, Zen, and really just being in the dance of life. So that's that vision. And then the combination of the two is the thing that propels us forward. So getting specific here. Also knowing what it is that you don't want to do with yourself and you don't want to do with a life. I'm going to get specific as to how did I get here, right? How did I get here is one day I was in my car, as a matter of fact. I was in my car questioning everything about my life and having that very conversation. How did I get here? I had just fired somebody. I had been hired, and 2 weeks into the project, and it's always a project with me because I'm a freelancer. I don't really own anything. I create and co-create things with people. I had been hired into a project, and I was firing somebody in that project because the two major voices, the head honchos, had made a clerical error in who they wanted for XYZ. Each of them made a different choice. Each of them, even though I was the person taking care of the team building and the organizational and the operations of it all, they each offered the job to a different person. And here I am having to call one after they agree who it is to say, I'm so sorry, everything that was promised to you, it's not there. It wasn't my mistake, but if I wanted to stay in that project, if I wanted to take the paycheck, if I wanted for things to keep running smoothly, I had to manage upward and fire this person or let go of this person. They hadn't even started. And it was a very uncomfortable conversation. The person was extremely unhappy, pissed at me even. We always shoot the messenger, right? And as I'm driving home saying, how the heck did I get here? What am I doing? Who are these people that I'm working with? What are the kind of situations that I'm choosing for myself? What am I saying yes to? And as I asked that question about the job and the career, I realized I'm also driving home to a very cold, very distant, very dissonant marriage that I also co-created and am 100% responsible from this side of it here. So nothing was working. Everything was clogged up. Everything was in disarray. You can call it, I was in a rut, right? How did I get here? I made a ton of choices, life-wise. They got me to that very point. And then I finally got to that point where I was like, what is my point A right now? My point A is everything is in shambles. This is going on in my personal life. This is going on in my career. And what that did for me to really know what my point A was is, what do I want? Because the answer is never quit the job, quit the wife, quit everything, right? Quit the spouse, quit the job, quit the friends, quit the country. I moved out of a country once, so I know what it looks like to sometimes think you don't know whether you're chasing something or you're running away from something. And it's important to know the distinction, because it may look like the same thing, but those are two very different things. So I didn't want to run out of anything. I loved my wife dearly, and we're having a bunch of problems, and I didn't know how to fix them right away. And didn't know what, like, I knew I had contributed to the state of things, but that wasn't leaving that wasn't on the plate for me. I knew in my heart it wasn't. So, but I knew in my heart that everything else that I was doing professionally was off. So I took responsibility for starting to rearrange, fix, prune, prime, all these things that I talk about here, that part. To see how much more vital and how much can I restore over here, and then have a holistic approach of everything that I learned over here can be brought over here. And that's exactly what happened. And what happened was a vision. I set my butt in a chair. I quit my job, first of all. I quit that place. I quit that project. Quit 2 other projects that I realized, oh my gosh, I'm that guy or gal that always dates the same kind of people, except they come in a different packaging exteriorly, right? I was always dating the same kind of partners, bosses, collaborators, because I was saying yes to things that were not of me, because I was looking at everything as opportunity. And that's a huge problem. When every door looks the same, when every box looks the same, or all we care about is opening the box and getting the gift, we start missing out on the things that are more of us. So I set my butt on a chair and I wrote a little manifesto, manifesto is the best word, a little document of something that I wanted to create, something that I wanted to become, something that I wanted to aspire for me and for every group of artists and creatives in the world. I sent that out to people I knew, and we started having meaningful conversations around something that was very dear and meaningful to me. 3 months later, I picked up the phone to be hired to get to collaborate on a project that was very much like the manifesto. And I'm not saying that I attracted that project, even though that person had gotten the manifesto before they called me. So in a sense, I did it. He was like, this guy's message resonates with me because I was sharing my message with everybody. So yes, but more so when the right thing was presented to me, I knew to jump on because I had kept myself available to that experience and opportunity by saying no to everything else that was not of me at the time. So not everybody can do that because we still need to put food on the table and so on and so forth. At the time, I had about 3 months worth of living in savings that I decided to live on. It wasn't a lot. It's not very responsible. I don't think my wife would be happy to know that's what I did with our lives. But I rejiggered my life in those 3 months. I was living very much under my means, spending only in the essentials of the household and what my family needed, and I reconstructed my life. And out of that, the first opportunity I said yes to was 100% of my vision and of me. And everything else has been a domino effect, a trickle-down effect, an evolution, a refinement of that clarity that gets us into my consultation, my coaching, my business as it stands today, and the way I interact and engaging with the people that I collaborate, work with, and co-create with. So what is that manifesto that you can create? It doesn't have to be a manifesto, but what can you start designing specifically today? Being very clear about where you are right now, what are you unhappy about the things of where you are right now, and what can you do? Take responsibility and action to achieve that vision, to start working towards it. It doesn't have to be much more, just like most businesses, most startups, most huge things that we have in the world right now, that from Apple to Uber to anything. I always use the same example, so I apologize. I only use the things that I have on my phone. All these things were once a business plan, a business model on a napkin, on a couple of pages. What is that for you? It doesn't have to be a business. For everybody who's doing a business, that's essential. But if you are a freelancer, if you're an artist, if you're a performer, if you want to design a life and a career that is very much of yourself, what is that napkin to you? And realize where you are so that you can become and do things that will get you there. That's clarity. And that's what I'm talking about when talking Clarity Mondays. Tomorrow, we'll talk about how to commit to that vision and what to do on a daily basis to bring it about in the smallest way so that we can be inching forward towards this clear goal and vision.